Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I want to welcome you to episode 10. And maybe I should turn my other sound down. I had to boomer it at least once so you would know it was really me. I'm not an AI. I am 100% human. Oh, God. Pray for us. All right. I want to welcome all of you to episode 10 of Unscripted. D. Pensac is already in the chat. I want to thank everyone who has stuck by me over the last year or so. And I do eventually want to do a 1 year on YouTube celebration show. Obviously, it's going to be a year plus a month or so, but hey, that's how it is. For those of you who are new, this is a kind of a low tech show. I'm a man with a laptop sitting in his own living room in a house that he owns, and that's about it. I am the fan that has been sucked in through the fourth wall, and now I have my own channel and my own show, which hopefully will go on for some time. D. Pensac saying, has been a pleasure getting to know you on here, and you as well, Dave. Troy Pacelli is here. Hello, Troy. I'm not an AI. He says, as to stream audio robots. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to sit back or something. I don't know. I've been dealing with some sound issues, and my internet went out on me twice yesterday during both during live streams. So hopefully that will not happen here. My internet service is not the best. One of the things I'm hoping to do this week is to rectify that situation. I want to say hello to Lady Mist. Thank you for being here. In fact, Lady Mist, I just gave you a present. Okay. Did AT&T send you a new blender with the internet service? No. I got the blender from my chiropractor. No lie. I got a blender from my chiropractor. They had a raffle. I won it, and it came with a blender. True story. Okay. Here's the way I'm going to start off the show tonight. I recently saw, I think like yesterday or the day before. I've already forgotten. It's been a long weekend. I saw the new Evil Dead movie, and I got to tell you, I'm recommending it. If you are a fan of the Evil Dead movies, you're going to like this one. It respects the lore. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. It is brutal. It is gory. I didn't find it personally scary. I think the first one still pretty much handles that pretty well. And hello, aged boomer. Geeky Geezers, 9 o'clock, right after the show. Please feel free to put the link into chat for Geeky Geezers. That's going to be at 9 o'clock. Yes, Evil Dead Rise. I did see it. If you are not a fan of the original movies, or if you haven't seen them, my advice would be, before you see this movie, go back and watch the original trilogy with Bruce Campbell. directed by Sam Raimi. Um, Bruce Campbell is not in this movie. I've heard people say that he is. I didn't spot him. So if he's in here, he is buried in here because I didn't notice him. Hello to Big Al Presents. Good to see you. H Boomer is asking, is this Evil Dead a follow-up to the remake? It could be considered that. It's not a direct sequel. It is very much a standalone story. But it's sort of realistic and grounded like the remake was. It's shot very much to look like it. But it's not like a direct sequel. It's kind of like a standalone sequel. Now, there have been some things said about the movie that are not true, and this is without going into spoilers. None of the characters in this are related to any of the characters from the previous films or from the series, and I can't speak to the series because I haven't seen it. So if it references the series, I can't speak to that. Now, the characters are not related to characters from any of the previous films, near as I can tell. There are Easter eggs. There are these little things that you can hold on to where, oh, okay, I see where they got that from. So, there are references, there are Easter eggs. Aged Boomer is saying, I've seen Ash versus the Evil Dead. I doubt this movie is related. I doubt that it is either. Let's see. Troy is saying, note related to our show, but on topic here, we will be talking about Baldwin. I think my take will be very different from most commenters, which is on brand for Geek Geezers, indeed, which is one of the reasons why I like the show so much. All right, back to Evil Dead. There have been people saying that the movie contains intersectional feminism. I didn't get that hit off of it. The cast is somewhat female centric. Half the characters in it are women, the other half are male. So there are no girl boss moments in this. There are no moments of a woman having to belittle the man or trying to look better than a man. That's not in here. Now, the father is out of the picture, but the father was out of the picture in E.T., and I don't think anybody would consider E.T. intersectional feminism by any means. Now, there is an SJW type character in the movie who when she's first introduced, she's talking about this. She's going to go to a protest in the morning, and but that's about it. Once the proverbial shit hits the fan, whatever politics she has are out the window, and she has to defend herself. They all do, because this is 100 proof Deadite. They are relentless. They will say and do anything. And, you don't have time for politics, when you're in when you are literally trapped into this, you know, into this apartment with these creatures. You know, that's pretty much about it. People are now seeing woke where there is no woke. Yeah, I don't consider this movie woke in any way. It is a horror film. It is a gory, balls to the wall horror movie, and it actually gets better in my mind the more I think about it. I want to say hello to Connie Cleary. Did the apartment setting add anything? It really does because they're in an apartment building. Most of the action is in the apartment, but they live in this high rise apartment building that's about to be condemned. So it's fallen into disrepair. Early on in the movie, there's an earthquake, which damages the building to the point to where they cannot safely exit the building, you know, unless something really drastic happens. So that gives them the excuse for, well, why can't they just leave? Now, in the original movie, the bridge was out, and that's why they couldn't leave. That was their way out, was the bridge. And when the bridge is destroyed, they are stuck. Now they are stuck in this high-rise building where the stairs have been damaged, the elevator is damaged, but that's done mostly by the Deadites. So that's why they can't get out. Hello to Courtney. Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Good to see you. So that's why they can't get out. And the mother, who's played by Alyssa Sutherland, who you know from Vikings, and she was in the TV series version of The Mist, which I have to admit I kind of bailed out on after episode 2. She's the one who is possessed by the Deadites, and you know, she's just gets more and more insane as she deteriorates throughout the movie. But like I said, I don't want to give too much away about what happens past that point. But if you were a fan of the other movies, you know, especially the first movie and the remake, then you're going to like this movie. And if you're not a fan, I don't know that this is the movie that you should start with. It's not a bad movie. It's not the best one. But I think if you are a fan of the series, then this is worth going to the theaters to see. If you're not, then my advice would be, yeah, wait until streaming, and then go and see it then. So my rating on it is kind of back and forth between 3 stars to 3.5. I'm kind of like at about a 3.25 on it right now. But it's definitely a recommend. Yeah, it works for what it is. Now, one of the main issues that I had with the movie was that there is a bookend sequence that takes place at a cabin out by a lake, because it's an Evil Dead movie. It has to be a cabin in the woods, you know. They could have cut the opening sequence and the ending couple of scenes out of the movie, and it would not have hurt the movie in any way. They may be in there to set up for another film in the future, but I don't think those scenes needed to be in the movie. They're not bad. The opening is kind of a short film in itself, and it has one of the best title reveals I've seen in a movie in a long time. But my advice, forget about what you've been told, because I don't think we can trust the mainstream critics anymore. My advice, if you're really interested in seeing it, would be to just check it out for yourself. That would be my main thing. I certainly have no problem seeing it another time. I might go see it a second time to kind of decide where I am on it officially. But yeah, I want to thank the lovely Sherry for being here. Please do me a favor and do not stab anyone. I am keeping my eye on you, girl. we want the lovely Sherry. We don't want stabby Sherry. Not today. Okay. Connie's never did. Boomer says critics are all over the place these days. They are. And to segue into my main topic, you can't make promises. Okay. Stab if you have to. Just give me some warning before you do. Okay. This segues into what I think is wrong with present day Hollywood. And it's not just that we can't trust the mainstream critics anymore. That's going to be a show for another day. I named the show "Rules for Thee," but not for me, is what seems to be the case in Hollywood. And I wanted to discuss two actors who have been in the news of late. And the first one I want to talk about is Jonathan Majors. Now, I have not seen anything that this man has been in. And I want to start by saying this is not me trying to convict him of anything. He deserves his day in court, and he's going to get it very soon. But I am concerned that he's kind of falling into the Johnny Depp category. I don't think anybody really believed Amber Heard. Not really. I mean, there were the people who glommed onto the Me Too movement. But I think Johnny Depp's real fans know he didn't do anything that Amber Heard said, and he was able to prove that he didn't. Now, Jonathan Majors has more of an uphill battle because he's being accused by other people now. And there have been allegations against him by people who have worked with him in the past. Now, these could all be people who may have a beef with him and are trying to make him look bad for other reasons. I don't know. Like I said, we don't know who did what on the night, and I'm not here to convict him. That's for a jury to decide. I want to say hello to Sorality. And Wrenches, please drop Sorality's link in the chat. Great art streams. Very interesting stuff. Um, now, I I am kind of concerned about, or rather, I don't know what to think when it comes to Jonathan Majors, in that we have the woman now on tape, going out clubbing after the fight, or what I should say is the alleged fight. You know, his lawyers are saying that there's a video that completely exonerates him. We have not seen that. Um, we have the texts from the now ex-girlfriend, which where she completely blames herself or tries to blame the police, which sounds like the behavior of someone who's been abused. So, I mean, I really don't know what to think when it comes to this. I don't know if he's guilty here or not, because I believe that we don't have all of the evidence. There there's evidence which could be construed as he's completely guilty here, and there's also evidence to the fact that she either was not injured to the extent that she initially claimed, or that this could be um, the police overstepping their bounds. And the DA that is involved with this case is someone I highly question, because he's out to make a name for himself and not do his job. So when it comes to Jonathan Majors, um, I I am not ready to say that he's done anything wrong. He may have. He very well may have. And if he did, then he needs to be punished for that. But if he did nothing wrong, then he needs to be publicly exonerated. Now, this cancel culture has caught up with him. Marvel was trying to put him out here. It was trying to put him out there as the best thing since sliced bread. Now he may very well never do a Marvel movie again. We don't know. The fact that other actors are already being bandied about possibly replacing him, you know, uh, tells me that either he has already been fired or he's about to be. And that's wrong too, because we don't have all of the evidence. There are people in Hollywood who have done far worse things, and we're about to get to one of those people here in a minute, who have done far worse things than what Jonathan Majors is being accused of, who are walking around scot-free and being treated like fucking gods. And D. Penzak is saying in the chat, and we may never get all the evidence. We might not. We very well might not. And that's why I'm saying in this case, we need to wait. And as you say, we do need to be fair. Let's find out who did what and when, and then decide, and then let the justice system do its work. Or in the case of the person I'm about to bring up, not do its work. Now, unlike Jonathan Majors, who I have no opinions on either way, I'm not against him and I'm not for him. I am going to be upfront. I do not like Alec Baldwin. I do not. I used to be a fan of the guy. I liked his earlier movies. Um, I liked him in Hunt for Red October. I thought he was a great Jack Ryan. You know, uh, he's funny in Beetlejuice. I liked his bit in Glengarry Glen Ross. I liked the guy as an actor. I liked his version of The Getaway. He's no Steve McQueen, but damn, he tried, you know? Um, but a lot of the statements that he's made over the last few years, especially, are are out of bounds. You know, this guy has threatened public officials, you know. Which is something that you used to go to jail for. And if I went on Twitter and encouraged people to go to the home of a politician and gun them down, I would be investigated and arrested. I would be sitting in a jail cell right now. Alec Baldwin did that. He's one of many celebrities who have done that very thing, and he's walking around free. And now he has actually killed someone and wounded another. And he is not the only person culpable in this by any means. The first AD definitely needs to go up on charges. The armorer needs to go up on charges. But it seems like, all of the charges seem to be just magically going away. Now, if you or I had the same thing happen, we would be locked up right now. Let's be honest. Troy is saying, if Baldwin was on fire, I would take a piss on him. Neither would I. Depends like, why hasn't anyone held Baldwin accountable for the years of gunplay in his other films in training safety? This wasn't his first rodeo. Oh, no. Not by any stretch. But like Tom Connors was saying the other night on Midnight's Edge, these people are like children. And sometimes you have to treat them that way. They just pick up the guns and start playing around with them and twirling around and doing all this, and based on what I've heard about the what was going on behind the scenes on Rust, it's like all of the it was like safety be damned on that set. Depends like a saying, agreed, talent equals children. Yeah. In a lot of cases. Daniel Heron, soundtracks with Birdman. Good to see you. I'm strapped every day, but I'm no actor. Yeah. Yeah. Really, do we want actors? Do we want actors to have real life firearms? We do not. Except maybe Keanu Reeves. He seems to know what he's doing. And if you want to go comparing actors, in all of the John Wick movies, to my knowledge, no one's been hurt. With all of the mayhem that they shoot for those movies, no one to my knowledge has been injured on a John Wick film. Now, anybody who has had any kind of rudimentary gun training knows you do not aim a weapon at anything that you do not plan to destroy. Brandon Herrera says that in their video. And Troy or someone else, if you could find Brandon Herrera's link and put that in the chat. I think people would be interested in seeing some of what he has to say. But my point is this. We are dealing with a man, an Alec Baldwin, who has threatened politicians, who has threatened members of the press, who has threatened people in his lives and people in his life. We have heard on tape how he talks to his children. This is a man who should not, this is a man who is dangerous. This is someone who is a spoiled brat who treats everyone around him like dirt. And I've seen the way his brothers talk to people on social media, and they're no better. But they think they can do it because they've been allowed to. These Hollywood actors think that what they do saves lives. That's what they tell themselves. We're saving lives. We're the rebels. We're revolutionaries. Bullshit. You're punks. I'm sorry, but I'm going to go off on a rant right now. These fucking people think they are above the law. And they think so because they get away with it. How the hell they got Weinstein, I don't know. Somebody bigger than him cut him off at the neck. But and it's not everybody. Okay, I have met people, famous people, actors who are completely decent, on the level people, who are personable, who show respect to people, who go out and meet the fans. They're out there, but they're not high profile. They're not necessarily on the level that Alec Baldwin has been allowed to be on through the years. Isn't Miramax owned by Disney now? Who do you think was behind the fall of Weinstein? Who do I think? I genuinely don't know. Maybe somebody in Disney had enough on him to cut him loose. I honestly don't know. Or maybe it was the fact that he did what he did to so many women that they couldn't, even in Hollywood, they couldn't let it go anymore. And again, if somebody involved with Disney told on Weinstein, then somebody's got to tell on Disney. Because Disney has a lot to answer for as well. They really do. And I'm not going to go into all of that tonight. We know what they're involved in. But I'm saying these people are not better than us. We are subject to laws. And we have to follow them or we lose what we have. People, they don't get to lose anything. when they do something wrong. They get away with it. They go back to their mansions and their Ferraris. Rules for thee, but not for me. And it's not right. And I could sit here on my phone and, go through all of the articles from TMZ or People Magazine. Forget all that. We don't need these word salad, mainstream media articles to tell us what's wrong. We are intelligent people. Our eyes work, our brains are working, so we see what's wrong. And we're getting talked down to by people who are immoral, who get away now with literal murder. They have no cause to be talking down to us. And I tell you, when YouTubers are backstage after live streams telling me, hey, you know what? I don't want to review their shit anymore. I don't blame them for saying that because I felt that way. But there are the Top Gun Mavericks out there. Good movies still get made. Evil Dead's a good movie. That got made. Old Henry's a good movie. The Outpost is a good movie. So, that's where the stay strong, this is how we win thing that I say comes from. Because I think because we're exposing these people now. The normies, so to speak, are finally starting to pick up on the same things that we've come to realize over the past couple of years. And that's why box office is down. And that's why television ratings are down. That's why streaming is down. We are shining the light down on them. And Alec Baldwin can go on ahead and finish the movie because obviously he's going to have the time to, because he's not going to be behind bars. The civil case is already out of court. Helena Hutchins' husband already got his producer credit, so he gave her up for a fucking producer credit. Yeah. Those are the kind of people we're dealing with. Now, they can go ahead and finish this movie. I'm not going to go see it. I'm telling you right now, if Rust it winds up in theaters, I'm not going to review it. All right, let me go back to the chat. Rant over. Connie Cleary is saying, I got my theories on Weinstein. I'd like to hear them sometime. D. Pensek, I'm waiting for Minnie to bitch slap Mickey. What the fuck are you thinking, Mickey? Yeah. Troy is saying to Daniel Heron, and then Will Smith comes along and says, keep Minnie's name out of your effing mouth. Yeah. And hello to Tabasco scenario. Good to see you. Streaming is down because once it's available on digital, it's available by ways of the city. Yeah, that's another thing. And we do not condone riding the high seas, arg ye mateys. um, no. Uh, true, true, true. Okay. But that's really all I had to say about that. I had considered, looking at Variety and TMZ and all of this, and just kind of stodgily reading off what it says in any of these articles. And I just decided, you know what? You don't want to hear articles. You don't want me to sit for an hour and read articles to you. And just simply give it to you straight, you know. 2 a.m. in Great Britain needs sleep. Take care, all. Take care, Shirality. Have a good night. And hello to Jedi Bill. Good to see you. Troy says, if Rust does make it to cinema, I'm not only not seeing it, I'll buy another copy of Terror on the Prairie. Yeah. And Terror on the Prairie, I've seen it. I have a short review of it up on my channel. Right, the high seas is bad. Wink, wink. Yeah. I did see Terror on the Prairie. I liked it. Again, not a perfect movie, but not trying to be. I call it Assault on Cabin 13. Because that's kind of what it was for me. But it's worth a look. Go out, go and seek it out. It's worth seeing. Okay. I got the main topic in, I got my movie review in, and it's time for the What's on My Shelf segment. Now, I was on the most recent episode of Friday Night Last Call, hosted by our friend Troy Pacelli, along with Aged Boomer and Netters Network. And Tom Connors joined me, and we watched Dark Side of the Rainbow, which of course is the mashup of Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz, which you can find that on YouTube. Please give that a look. And for my on the shelf segment is my Blu-ray copy of Wizard of Oz, and the back cover. 2 hours of extras. There's a feature-length documentary. There's a commentary by film historian John Frick with the film's cast and crew. There's a sing-along feature and much more. It's the back. And a single disc. Now, I understand that there is a 4K, or there's 4K about to come out, but I don't have that yet, as of yet, so I have to go with this. And on Paulie's channel, Latino Slant, for his members, once a month he has a movie night. And last night we watched From Dusk Till Dawn. And this is my DVD from back in the day. Two discs. There's a plethora of special features. And there's also a feature-length documentary called Full Tilt Boogie, which honestly is not really that good. But, it's there. It comes with the disc. And it's not long, so give it a look. So, On the shelf, video-wise, From Dusk Till Dawn and Wizard of Oz. And for those of you who can tell me which movie syncs up with Adam Hartmother, you will win a case of Wonka bars. Okay. Does that have a film school segment on it? I think it does. Most of Rodriguez's movies have a film school segment on it, and I think this one does too. I don't see it on the box, but I'm sure it's there. All right. Now, I have been following a YouTuber, a booktuber named Criminali for some time now. And at the end of all of his videos, he pulls a random book from his shelf and talks about it. And while at work, I managed to get a hold of, I work in a used bookstore part time. And I have a copy of the Sackett brand by Louis L'Amour, which I happened to come across. And back in the day, they used to have a commercial on television where they had these leather-bound Louis L'Amour books. And I don't remember how many of them there were exactly. There were dozens of them. And the Louis L'Amour collection, as it says right here. And I managed to just randomly find this in the store. And the boss said, hey, just go ahead and take it for yourself. So I got that. And I also have a copy of The Riders of the Purple Sage by Zane Grey. And this actually looks like a galley copy to me. And none of the pages are numbered. There's no fancy artwork or anything inside other than on the covers. And I don't know how the hell they got a hold of this, but they got it. You know, probably from a bookstore that was giving galley copies away, because I have a few that are like that. And I got this one out of a book drop. This is actually not in that good condition, so I got to be very careful with it. This is Mark Greeny's Relentless, and it's one of the Gray Man series, if you're familiar with that. As you can see, the back is broken on it, so I got to be careful how I handle it. And I didn't remember if I had this or not, because I have so many books, I don't always remember what I have. So yeah, Relentless. Alrighty, going back to the chat. Lady Miss dropping the links. Depends. Like, my guess is that it's a galley copy to an advanced reader copy. I'm thinking it is. Even though that usually says somewhere, and this doesn't, but it does look like a galley copy to me. So, okay, I got something very rare here. Okay, and we're going to. I'm going to open for the floor to questions. We still have a few minutes left before we have to wrap it up here. So, okay, chat. Let me have it. Do you have any questions? Get what you have, totally relate. Yeah. I've got to go through what I have. And if I have more than one copy of something, then I'm going to have to start getting rid of them. I'm going to give everybody a second here to type. uh, how do you cope with the tyrants who are the geeky geezers? LOL, just kidding. I keep them at bay with a series of hand to hand techniques and small arms fire. No. No, no, no. Yeah, Boomer and Troy are part of the reason I have a channel right now. So, I owe a lot to them. Um, are there any other questions? What do you think of kaiju films? Godzilla, Kong, Cloverfield, etc. I'm for them. They're of there are varying degrees of quality, but yeah, I'm a fan of kaiju films. I'm all for them. We're getting a new Godzilla and Kong movie, and I've heard rumors that there's going to be another Cloverfield movie. I don't know if that's still going to be the case or who's involved, or if it's going to be an in-name only thing or not. But that first Cloverfield movie I liked. I haven't seen the other ones yet. But there is a movie that I have in my stack called Underwater from a couple of years ago. And that movie was pretty good. When I first saw it, I thought it was just kind of, all right. And then I saw it a second time and I went, this is actually pretty good. Your work as a blue runs on their channels to be applauded. Well, you're welcome. Check out Notzilla. You may know someone who worked on it. Big Out presents this thing, rewatching Cloverfield in July on my channel. It's Kai July. Nice. Okay, Geeky Geezers is going to be starting up here in about 5 minutes or so. Any other questions before we wrap up the show? And once again, I want to thank everyone for being here. Lady Mist, Connie Cleary, Troy, Al, Boomer, Birdman, Jedi Bill, Deep Henzak, Shirley, Bosco Scenario, Sherry, who did not stab anyone this episode. Thank you. Courtney. Let me finish scrolling up here. I think I got to everybody, and I did. Grab your chair, tall for geeky geezers. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Please, if you have not yet hit the like, please do so. Share out the stream. If you were, I want to thank everybody who was lurking in the background, or anybody who is watching this show on the delay. Great show tonight. Thank you. Okay, so hit the like. If you're new to the channel, and you want to see more, please feel free to subscribe. I have reviews up now for Evil Dead Rises, Super Mario Brothers, John Wick 4, Skinamarink, among others. I do this show every week. We are 10 episodes in, with a couple of special episodes. So I've actually done 12 of these altogether, even though it's episode 10. I've really done 12. So if you like the show, please join us here next week. The more the merrier. Come and chat and say hello. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Go to Geeky Geezers. So from have I seen Iron Sky? I have not. I'm aware of it, but I haven't seen it. All righty. I'm going to wrap it up. So from HQ, good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.